In this tutorial, I'll show you how we can use Python and Google APIs to insert Gmail data in Google Sheets. This is a script I use personally to archive my email data for personal projects and automations. And I know a few third-party services charge a fee for such service. The tutorial is breakdown into 4 steps. Create a Google Cloud project, create an OAuth account, enable APIs, and script development. Both Gmail and Google Sheets APIs are completely free with unlimited usage. If you've already done some of the steps, you can skip right into the script development. With that being said, let's get started. To create a Google Cloud project, navigate to console.cloud.google.com. Click the dropdown on the top, then click New Project. Give the cloud project a name. Click Create to create the cloud project. Once the cloud project is created, click Select Project to set the project as active project. To create an OAuth consent screen, click the navigation menu. Under APIs and Services, click OAuth consent screen. For the user type, choose External. If you are using Google APIs exclusively within your organization, in that case, you want to choose Internal. Click Create. Type the app name to be displayed on the consent screen. Then provide an email to both user support and developer contact information. App logo and app domain are optional. Click Save and continue. In the Scopes step, you can manually add the scopes if you already know which API and permission set you'll be using. Or you can add the scopes programmatically in the script, which is what I will be doing. Click Save and continue. If you intend to let other users to run the script, you can add the user's email to the test users. Otherwise, click Save and continue. Review the information and go back to the dashboard. Now we need to create an OAuth account. To create an OAuth account, click the navigation menu. Under APIs and Services, click Credentials. On the top, click Create Credentials. For the credential type, choose OAuth Client ID. In the application type dropdown, choose Desktop App. Then give the OAuth account a name. Click Create to create the account. Now we need to download the OAuth client file. Click Download JSON and save the client file in your project directory. Click OK to close the dialog. And we're done creating an OAuth account. Before we can use Gmail and Google Sheets API, we need to enable them in our cloud project first. Click the navigation menu. Under APIs and Services, click Library. Now navigate to Gmail API. Go ahead and click Enable to enable the API. Do the same thing for Google Sheets API. At this point, we are done setting up everything in Google Cloud Console. Now let's dive into the script development. To create the automation script, we only need to use Google's APIs package. Launch your terminal and run the command pip install Google API Python, Google Auth HTTP lib 2, and Google Auth OAuth lib. Open your code editor and create a blank Python script. To save you time writing the code, I put together a module called Google APIs. Inside the module, I created several helper functions to simplify Google API service connections. The link to the source code is in the description below. In the script, import the sudo module and the create service function from Google APIs module. Create the delete token directory init Gmail service and the init Google Sheets service functions as shown on the screen. The delete token directory function is used to delete the token directory that contains the token file, which is created when you authenticate your account. The token file is used to save your login session. The init Gmail service and the init Google Sheets service functions are used to construct the connections to the Google APIs. To retrieve your emails data using Google Gmail's API, it is a two-step process. First, we need to get the email threads. An email thread is a group of related email messages that are part of the same conversation. Each thread is identified by a unique thread ID, and you can use this ID to retrieve all the messages within that thread. That's the first step. The second step is getting the email's data like subject, recipient, body content, etc. In the gets email address function, we have three parameters: service, user ID, and max results. When you use Gmail's API to get the email address, you can retrieve up to 500 email addresses in a single API call. Here, I'm setting the default to 30 addresses to be returned a total. For the user ID, the keyword me is a special identifier to refer to the owner's email account. And service is the API instance connecting to a specific Google API service. Inside the function, I want to create an empty list to store the email address. Then insert a while loop to retrieve the email address until the email address list reaches to the maximum capacity. Also, note that I'm only retrieving email address from the inbox. I'll put a link where you can get the label ID list in the description below. The extract email data function is used to retrieve an email's content. Unfortunately, we can only pass one thread ID at a time. If you want to speed up the retrieval, you can use the async IO function to run multiple requests simultaneously. That's outside the scope, but if you are interested, leave a comment below and I'll cover that in a separate video. Here, in the extract email data function, I'm only retrieving the most commonly used properties. You can find the full list in the description below. The autofill column width function is a Google Sheets helper function to automatically resize the columns to make the content visible. In Google Sheets API, the index is 0 base, so index 0 will be column 1, and index 20 will be column 21. And to insert Gmail data to Google Sheets, create a function called insert data into Sheets. In the function, I'm clearing the content of the target worksheet first before inserting the data set. And that's all the functions we need to create to make the automation script to work. Now open your browser and create a blank Google Sheets file. Go back to the script. Create the main function as the entry point. Inside the main function, create the variable to store the client file path, Google Sheets ID, Worksheets ID, and the cell address where you want to insert the table. Then construct the Gmail and Google Sheets service instances to connect to the APIs using the init Gmail service and init Google Sheets service function. Next, call the get email address function to retrieve the email address into an object called email address. Then retrieve each email's data from the email address list into an object called emails. To insert Gmail data into Google Sheets, create a next list called sheet data to store the records to be inserted onto Google Sheets. The first record is going to be the header. Then we can combine the records from emails list using list comprehension. Then call the insert data into sheet function to insert the dataset and auto column width function to auto resize the column width. And finally, print a message Gmail data inserted into Google Sheets when everything is finished. Assign your Google Sheets ID and Worksheets ID to the Google Sheets ID and Sheets ID variables. Now we're officially done with the script. Call the main function to run the procedure. If I'm running the script for the first time, because the script didn't see the token file to load the last used session, it will prompt you to log into your account. You only need to do this once unless you delete the token files. Go ahead and log into your account. Once the script finishes, you should see Gmail data is now inserted as a table in your Google Sheets. And that's everything for this lesson. I hope you guys find this video useful. And if you have any question or any suggestion, please leave them in the comment section below. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more video like this. See you guys in the next one.